Hey there, my name is Cole Adams, and you are watching the best college basketball podcast out there that covers the entire sport of college basketball, brackets, bubbles, and bid stealers. Now, here are your hosts, Sam Fetterman and Jonathan Lidskin.
Season 6, episode 52 of Brackets, Bubbles, and Bid Stealers. I am Sam Fetterman. That is Jonathan Lidskin. Jonathan, how are you doing on this Sunday night?
I'm doing great, Sam. Long weekend of college basketball in the books, but, we're here. We're ready to go, and we got a special guest joining us today.
Yeah, I'm really excited. Our first coach interview of the season, and it's UT Martin head coach Jeremy Shulman, who has been in the news a lot recently thanks to the 2 wins over UNLV and now Bradley. You got Florida State coming up this week. Thank you so much for joining us, Coach.
Sam and Jonathan, I appreciate you guys having me on. I'm so excited about this.
So we've got to start with kind of the roster construction. And I'm sure this is what you're getting asked everywhere you go. But you coached JUCO ball. And now in this era of Division I college basketball, everyone is like a JUCO. And your creative workaround for that was, I'm going to bring in guys from wherever around the world, Europe. Just tell me how that came about for you. Is this something that you've been doing for years, going back to JUCO, or was it something that you felt you kind of had to develop with the last couple of years and how this is trending?
No, I mean, great question. We've been recruiting international guys for a long time, but where it really all started, honestly, I had a couple of guys during my early tenure. My first year at Eastern Florida, we were called Brevard at the time, 2010. I had a player from Senegal, Africa, who, was really close with. I really enjoyed coaching him. He still calls me dad. He's like a son to me. A couple of years later, in 2012, I had my first Serbian player, my first Croatian player, but still was just kind of just getting into the international scene a little bit. And in 2014, I met my wife, and my wife was just had finished up as an all-conference volleyball player at UCF, and my wife is from Latvia, so she's from Northeastern Europe. So about 6 months after I meet her, I go to meet her parents in Riga, Latvia, and spend some time out there, spend about 10 days in Riga. And so there's no ESPN out there. Okay, I'm a big, basketball junkie. Like, I've got to get my fix in, right? And so there's no ESPN. It's hard to watch games. But what they've got on is EuroLeague. And I just, guys, I just fell in love with the EuroLeague game, the style of play, the coaching, the high IQ, the unselfishness. It was just incredible. And so ever since then, in 2014, I've just been enamored with the international game. And so, at Eastern Florida, we would take more and more international guys. But I'll be honest, there was always a little fear of, could we go all in? Could we put together a roster of like 90+% of international guys? And finally, right towards the end of my tenure at Eastern Florida, I decided, hey, I'm just going all in. I'm going all in on the international stuff. I want to be different. It's like, be better, be different. So went all in and haven't looked back since. And obviously brought that with us to UT Martin, and very glad that my athletic director Kurt McGuffin saw the same vision that I did during the interview process, because he could have very easily said, hey, I want someone that's going to bring in a bunch of portal guys and old guys. And he loved what I had to say, and obviously he gave me an opportunity here at UT Martin, so I'm very, very grateful.
How many languages do you speak?
Me, unfortunately, not enough. Now, my wife speaks 4 languages fluently, so I just dabble in a few other languages, but unfortunately, I'm not fluent in anything except for English.
What do you have to go through on a daily basis to kind of get these guys who grew up speaking all these other languages up to speed in basketball English?
Well, so that's the key. That's what's great about it. All the guys that, we've got a rule, right? So, we've got all these different nationalities, all these different languages. So we've got a rule that says in the locker room, we just speak one language. And you know what that language is?
Basketball.
Nope. It's UT Martin basketball. So like, our guys better know what a bingo is, right? Or they better know what a sharp is, or like, we have our own like unique language. So we say is, you don't have to worry about speaking English or Serbian or Bosnian or French or Wolof or anything else guys on our roster speak. So I'll tell you what it does though, guys. It's brought a real commonality to our team. Like, we've got a real identity, and, we've got a bunch of guys that have sacrificed coming from all over the world, specifically mainly Europe and West Africa. And, it just, our guys identify with each other. Like, everyone's made a huge sacrifice to be here. And, I think it's phenomenal for our guys. And, I don't know, it just brings us closer together. Like there's no outsiders because we're all outsiders. Even me, I'm just a, JUCO coach here coaching Division I, and, before that an AAU coach. And so it's like, we're all outsiders and it brings us together.
Jonathan?
Coach, with the recent trend of more international players coming to college basketball, was there like a moment or a time for you as a coach when like this started to become a thing where it clicked for you, where it was like, hey, like, we have a leg up here. We've been doing this. Was there a moment like that, or was it just kind of like, this is like, we've been doing this, like,
I'll be honest, it was kind of opposite. It actually, just being very candid, got a little annoying over the past year. It's like, we've been doing this for a while. Now everyone else is starting to go international. I'm like, hey guys, like, that's our thing. But, I think you see it even in the college landscape now. I mean, there's some real success stories, but also, there's a bunch of guys that, are really talented players in the wrong fits. Like coaching international guys, and especially coaching European players, is a little different, and there's guys that we recruited that chose other places that aren't playing a whole lot right now. And then, we're starting 2 freshmen, at least in the UNLV game, 2 sophomores also, and 1 junior. And then obviously in the Bradley game, 2 freshmen, 1 sophomore, 2 juniors. And so, what we like about it is it fits our style of play. It's not just trendy. It's not just we're taking international guys because they have some talent. I mean, they fit what we do. They fit our style of play and international guys in general. And so, I mean, it's been great seeing some of the success our guys are having.
What is kind of the thing that you like targeting with these international players that maybe American players don't have? What is kind of the thing that you would say from coaching international players you can use to make American players better?
Yeah, it's a great question. I don't know how much it is that the American players don't necessarily have it. It's easier for me to find guys that are really, really grateful and happy to be here. I did run into some American entitlement, unfortunately, in probably the last 5 years of Eastern Florida, before getting the job here. And it was different than it was 10 years ago. I'm going to have to start sounding like that old coach, that get off my lawn coach. But it was different. 10 years ago, it was a little bit easier, and it has gone a little harder. And so, we know when we're recruiting some of these international guys, generally odds are that there's been a certain level of gratefulness and just so thankful and so appreciative of being here. And the other thing is very specific here to UT Martin. Like I love UT Martin. I love Martin, Tennessee. I love every part of it, and so does my family. But like we swerve into what we are. We're not Las Vegas. We're not New York City. And so when we're trying to recruit a really high level American player, I'm not sure if all of them want to be in Martin, Tennessee. I'm just going to be honest. And so when we've recruited international like the way we have, our guys love it. Like we don't hide it. We tell our guys, hey, this is a small town. There's 10,000 people in Martin. We tell them there are no clubs here. Like if you want to go party and have this wild college life, that's not it. So like if you want to come to UT Martin, we tell our guys, you come to be loved, because our whole program is built on a foundation of love. Secondly, on development, that's why we take so many young players. We took 8 freshmen this year. We want to develop it, not just take a bunch of older transfer portal guys. And then the third thing is we want to win, and have that commonality of, the team over individual success. And, our guys want that, because again, there's no hiding it. There's no like, well, I can say that, but I really just want to be in Martin, Tennessee and go party it up. And no, like if you're going to come to Martin, Tennessee, you're coming because you do want to be loved. You do want to be developed, and then you want to win. And so that's really struck a chord with our international guys. And so it's been a lot of fun, and we've really become a destination for those guys. And that's something I take a lot of pride in.
Coach, is there a part of the town or like something about the town in itself that like sells itself to certain kids?
Yeah, I do. And that's the great thing about these internationals. I mean, the town has just really embraced it and embraced these guys. Like, there's different places you can go where maybe, especially if, again, we talk about being different, being the outcast, like everyone here is the outcast. So at another place, maybe, you get made fun of your accent a little bit, or the way you do things, or the way, that you were brought up, which is very different. Here, like, it's celebrated. This community is so kind. This community is so supportive. This community is so energetic. International guys are, they're like the king of the town here. I mean, they're the kings of the town here. It's unbelievable Our guys just are celebrated here. They're loved, they're cared for, they're celebrated. And I think that's pretty cool here.
Obviously, you guys are getting to the line a ton. You're also following a ton. How do you think physicality is part of the identity of your program?
We've got to keep the other team off the line a little more. There's no doubt about that. We obviously very much believe in physicality. We going back to the days at Eastern. We've got a little saying, it's players play tough, guys win, and we've always carried that with us, and so it's in our locker room now. And so we've got some tough dudes on this roster, and we try to play very, very physical. We want to bring the fight to the other team, and obviously that's led to a few too many fouls early in the season. We got outshot by 20 free throws at Bradley. We don't want to make a habit of that, obviously, but I do think physicality is a big part of our brand and what we're trying to do on the court.
Yeah, and then the other metric that stands out for you guys is you're turning it over a lot. What is kind of the key to limiting that going forward?
We've got such a young team. Obviously, that's another thing we've got to correct is we've got to get better at taking care of the ball. We've got such a young team, and we're still learning our reads. We're still learning our decision making. We're still learning our spacing. I tell everyone I love what we do, but what we do is very unique. And what we do is very detail oriented on the court, both offensively and defensively. And so it does take some time to learn. It takes some time to adjust. We play, pretty different than a lot of teams. And unfortunately, it does lead to some turnovers, especially early as guys get, more adapt to, how we do things. I think we just have to get, what really stood out for me in Bradley is, our spacing has to be better. Spacing was nowhere near, what it needs to be. And we got to get better with our reads and decision and understanding how often just, make the easy play, just make the single. Don't go for the home run every time. Make the, just hit a single. And so the problem is I say hit a single, or most of our European guys don't know what the heck baseball is. So that hasn't necessarily helped, but maybe that's why we're turning it over. I keep using baseball now.
We've got to talk about this play from the Bradley game. Just talk me through what you're seeing here.
Okay, so we drew this up, and we've been practicing this. We're like, you know what, AJ, I know you're a big-time shooter, but let's just, miss it so badly it hits off a 7'1" Serbian guy's head. So that was, we've been working on that, guys. That's like the coaching genius of our program. Hey, sometimes luck smiles on those who prepare the best, and we got lucky on that play, so.
Had you ever seen that happen before?
Not in basketball. I think I've seen something similar in soccer. I'm not a big soccer guy.
I've seen it in baseball.
You've seen it in baseball? Yeah, actually,
Jose Canseco.
Jose Canseco. I was going to say Jose Canseco, I think, in baseball. But
yeah, and the Red Sox had one this year, but it wasn't off of the guy's head. He just caught it and then ran into the wall and dropped it.
It's unbelievable. What a play. What a play.
Jonathan?
Yeah, Coach, I wanted to ask you, we mentioned the physicality, but you guys have been really solid on the defensive end so far this year overall. And, you hold Bradley to 67 points. I think UNLV was just around a point per possession against you guys. Is that something you guys knew coming into the year? Like, hey, this is going to be a defensive team. This is going to be our identity.
We hoped. And then, okay, so I'll tell you the story. So we're playing a exhibition game or scrimmage or whatever, secret scrimmage. I know they're all secret, but so we're playing a secret scrimmage against Central Arkansas. Okay. And my uncle is the head coach of Central Arkansas. And so we try to scrimmage every year. So we were talking the day before the game, maybe it's 2 days before. And I said, Uncle John, listen, I think we're going to be pretty good defensively this year. That's something that I just think the way we recruited, I love our system. I think we're pretty good. So, hey, just so you know, if y'all don't, because we're talking about our concerns coming into the game, and he was concerned whether or not they'd be able to score enough. I said, well, I think we'd be pretty good. So if you don't score great in that game, don't be too down. I think, we're going to be okay during the year. Now we're missing a few guys for scrimmage. We're missing, 4, major contributors, but they go and score 97. and Uncle John, first of all, has not let me live that down ever since. But I'm sitting after that game. I'm like, oh man, we've got a long ways to go defensively. Because I really did. I thought ever since recruiting class, since the summer, since the fall, I think we got a chance to be really good defensively. But what was great about that is it exposed a few things, including how much we missed a couple of guys that were out. but exposed a few things I knew that we could work on and correct before the season started. And we're getting better at those things. And we're not where we need to be yet, but I mean, I think, I think we can be really good defensively. I really do. I really do.
Jonathan.
But don't tell Uncle John that, because then, he'll score 97 again against us. So,
Jonathan, you got more?
No, I think that's it for me. All I wanted to say is, the OVC might own my Missouri Valley right now. You guys take down Bradley by 11 on their home floor. So obviously, I was tuned into that one. It was you guys looked phenomenal.
Yeah, I got to ask about the Ohio Valley as a conference. For someone like, obviously, I'm a Northeast guy. Jonathan's a Midwest guy. So the OVC isn't in our direct purviews. Obviously, we try and watch as much of college basketball as we can. But what would you say to someone that maybe doesn't really know a ton about the Ohio Valley? What makes the Ohio Valley worth watching? What makes it unique?
Well, for one, it's a great conference this year. Obviously, last year was my first year, and I'd heard it had been, relatively down for a couple of years. And this year, I think I saw something where like the third most returning production of any mid-major conference in the country came from our league this year, which is not fun for us, because like we were hoping our league would stink, obviously, right? But our league is really good. There's great coaches, all throughout our league. There's great talent. Obviously, there's so many returning players, so many like first team and second team all conference players. Defense player of the year in our league returned, also freshman year in our league returned. I mean, it is talented. And I don't want to just quote a bunch of other team stuff, but I mean, SIUE just went and beat Drake. I think it was yesterday, and like you see a lot of wins and great performances by teams in our league, and it's just deep. It's talented. I mean, the OVC used to have such a great rep, and then Murray State leaves, and then Belmont leaves, and everyone kind of forgot about the OVC. And maybe it did take a couple of years to build back up. Okay, again, I wasn't in the league this entire time, so I can't tell you for sure. But when you lose two programs that caliber, I think it does take a few years to reset. But when you look up and down, and just again, the talent, the coaches, the teams, the programs, I mean, it's a gauntlet. It really is. And I've got a lot of pride in being in the OVC, a lot of pride, wearing that patch. I mean, it's a great league, and hopefully it'll get a little more notoriety now with our success, but also some of the success with the other teams in our league so far in the non-conference.
And the last question, the one that I ask every coach at the end of our interviews, how would you define a successful season this year for UT Martin? What are your kind of goals for this year? If you look back and accomplish it and say, yes, this is progress, this is what we want, this is what we want UT Martin basketball to be, this was successful?
That's a great question. Wow. There's really two main things. I mean, the third one I'll talk about briefly. Obviously, we want to win the OVC championship, and we want to win the OVC tournament championship. UT Martin has never been to the NCAA tournament before. We want to be the first in school history to go to the NCAA tournament. So obviously that's a big thing, but that's not where our definition of success comes from. We define our success in two ways as a team, and this is something we talk about daily with our guys. For one, we want to have the best relationships on our roster. Again, I say we have a culture of love in our program. We want to have the type of relationships that they have me the rest of their lives. They have me as a father figure the rest of their lives. They have each other's brothers the rest of their lives. And we want to make memories that are going to last a lifetime, which is also why we play Las Vegas to open the season, which is why we're about to play at Florida State and then go across to Pensacola for an MTE and be at the beach in November. Like, that's a huge part of what I believe in, what we believe in, and part of our culture is we want to. It's all about the relationships. I mean, that's what it's all about. It really is. Everyone talks about wins and losses. This stuff even supersedes it. All right, that stuff. I mean, I'll probably talk your ears off on this, but I mean, the other day we had a small reunion for players I'd coached with my AAU program. I mean, 20 plus years ago, and we had 35 guys show up. Some drove long distances to come up. And I mean, I've got former players that are 42 years old now, and they're showing up at this thing to just reunion. We're looking at old photos. Obviously there's no like digital photos back then. And I mean, those memories, that relationship, that's what it's all about. And then the second thing, we talk about development, but that also goes with team development. A big goal for us is, can we play the best basketball that we've played all year in March? And then before that, can we play the next best level of basketball we played all year in February? And then obviously before that, January. Like, we want to keep developing, keep improving, and play our best. And, hopefully that'll, take care of a lot of wins as well. But, we can't worry about that. We can only worry about the process of building relationships and developing to be the best of what we can be with this team.
All right, Coach. Thank you so much for joining us on Brackets, Bubbles, and Bid Stealers. We really appreciate your time.
Hey, I appreciate you guys having me on. Talk to you guys soon.
All right, Jonathan, we've got a whole bunch of games that we have to go over and talk about because we have a big week of college basketball that we have not potted about yet.
No, I mean, listen, you went home this weekend and got the 3 games on Friday and Saturday. I was busy with work and doing other stuff during the weekend, but you know what? We found time to watch basketball, and now we find time to do this. Really
good interview, by the way. Really,
yeah, that was awesome.
Would love to start bringing on some more coaches. Would like to try and make this as often as possible.
Mm-hmm.
That full interview will be up on Twitter after the pod as well, for sure. Now,
I also do want to say before we get into this that we try to get to focus on as many mid-major teams and leagues as possible. 365 teams in this sport. It's hard to get to everyone, Sam, even throughout the year.
And I'm starting to see that with being one of the contributors on the Mid-Major Madness Twitter account. Considering how much basketball, I got Troy Season on this screen right now that I'm watching it.
Yeah.
I've been watching some random college basketball because I love it and I do it all the time. But man, it's hard to have a thought about every single team as much as possible, especially when I'm just trying to watch a game to relax.
Yeah,
I do try and do that a lot.
Yeah, you just throw something on.
That's a very late night activity.
That's where the those Big West games come in handy. But leading into what I was going to say, when conference play really gets going, we do have mid-major Thursday here, where Thursday nights during conference play, almost exclusively mid-majors play. And so it is a mid-major show. We don't talk about anything to do with high majors. That's once a week for the final 2-ish months of the season.
And we obviously try and get those shows out as many times as possible.
Yeah.
That's where you find us leading with Fear the Phoenix.
Yeah, I was gonna say we've led shows with Green Bay before. Really, we've led shows.
We led a show with the Vermont UMass Lowell game 2 years ago.
Yep.
And we'll talk about Vermont later on this show. Once we get into helmet stickers, and I think if you watch that game, you know who's getting one.
Mm-hmm.
UConn BYU. I was in the building last night at TD Garden just about 24 hours ago, and this game took forever, Jonathan. It was a long basketball game. I don't know exactly how long. I think it ended at 9:40. It started at 7. What?
I'm sorry. Stanford just got a commit from my guy Julius Price, who I've been telling you about for a year.
Okay.
That's Kyle Smith, and
when Kyle Smith likes the same person as you, you know ball.
Yeah.
All right, we've got to talk UConn BYU, Jonathan.
Yeah.
Obviously, I watched this entire game.
Yeah, you were there. You start with this one.
And oh my God, the first half of this game was UConn is men, BYU. They're not together yet.
It's not.
Not that BYU is not a team of men. They're older guys too. We talk about AJ DeBonsta. He's 19, 18 years old. He plays like he's 23 because of how athletic he is. But the rest of that team's 23, 24-year-olds too. And UConn was making them look like boys. Richie Saunders, Keba Kaida obviously got hurt in this game. So that was a really difficult blow. But even before he got hurt, he was kind of just latching himself onto Terrace Reed and going for a ride. Terrace Reed was controlling this game down low. The amount of times that UConn finds a way to get him the ball down low and in deep post positioning, whether he's facing the basket or whether he's backing down, it's impressive. And I thought that he was the best player on the floor early in this game, Jonathan.
Yeah, I think he started the game 7 of 7. You would know the stat better than I.
He turned it over a couple times, though.
Yeah, and that's going to happen. He's not a flawless player, but yeah, there was a UConn avalanche for the first 25-ish minutes. Like you said, it really felt like UConn was controlling this one. I think they went up as much. Did they get up as much as like 17?
20, 59, 30.
Okay. Yeah. So, and it wasn't just Reed. Caravan had a nice night. Demery looked
Caravan started slow, and then they started to get him some threes. And like Ball did not have a big game. He was missing some open looks. They got him a 3 against the zone. BYU went zone with Xavier Staten in the middle. UConn like has too many shooters for you to go zone. Like just doesn't work. So UConn kind of destroyed that. But honestly, for BYU, like really concerned if Keba Keita isn't going to be able to go. They're already down Kennard Davis for who knows how long. So if they're down 2 starters going into the long-term stuff, and they've got Wisconsin coming up in Salt Lake City, then they go to the ESPN events, and then they have Clemson in early December. So they're going to have like 4 or 5 big games. And Cal Baptist isn't a joke either. They toyed around with Delaware. They could absolutely find themselves toying around with Cal Baptist. So they're going to have 4 or 5 big games coming up in the next month. And so you're going to need Keba Keita for some of those games for sure. First play of this game, first possession, he sealed off his man, and it was an easy layup for Rob Wright. So
yeah, you had the tweet about the Gortat screens that seem to be the new trend in college basketball offense.
Yeah, and I think for BYU specifically, he's the best player in the country at doing that. Him and Kohler.
Yeah, this bench is a huge question mark, and it becomes even more of a question mark if Keba Keita can't play. He is probably the only serviceable big on the roster right now. And
I thought Staten was like better than I expected, but still bad.
Yeah.
And Boscovich was not good in this game.
No, he got the start with no Kennard, but
yeah, so
a thin team appears to be getting thinner, and it's not exactly what you want in November. But hey, I guess better November than February.
Yeah, it's tough because they'll have plenty of opportunities in the Big 12 to win big games. And I think something we saw in the second half of this game is that AJ DeBonsto will win them games. He's good enough to do that. He was horrible in the first half of this game. Legitimately playing some of the worst basketball I've ever seen him play in the first half of this game. He was locked up. He was dead. He was throwing things at the wall, quite literally. Like he was.
He was really frustrated. I don't know. I don't know how high you were sitting up for the game, and like if you could actually see his like emotions.
No, could not see the facial expression.
He was getting really, really frustrated, and he came back in the second half.
You usually don't think of like the NBA assistants as the guys who are going to be fiery on the sideline. Kevin Young like brought some energy to this game. Like he got a warning. He got warned for stepping across half court.
Would not have bet that he was the head coach to get a warning in this game.
Yeah, Hurley was pretty measured for himself. I thought Jaden Ross.
I can't blame him. They were up big most of the game.
I think Jaden Ross played maybe his best game in a UConn uniform, considering opponent.
Yeah, I mean the story for me in this one was specifically on the UConn side was how good Silas Demery was. Like he looked like exactly what UConn needed and was missing last year on both ends of the floor.
Completely agreed. Controlled the game, made some big defensive plays, rebounded the ball. And like the concern about him, like, hey, his assist rate was like 18 last year. So like that's not like he was 18 assists, 18 turnover. Like that's not like great point guard numbers. You don't want as many assists as turnovers, especially for a team that UConn. The whole point of getting you needed like a real ball handling number 1 point guard that had some size and oomph to his game. So far this year, 37 assist rate, 13 turnover rate. 7 assists to 1 turnover in this game, 9 assists to 1 turnover against Columbia. Demery has been exactly what UConn needs him to be. I'm super impressed by his performance. And this is, remember, I feel like this has to be said because it hasn't really been said. This is UConn without Braylon Mullins. This is UConn without a 5-star freshman that is expected to be a starter for this team. And there's still, and like Jacob Furphy would be in this rotation if he didn't get injured in preseason. And they're just trying to figure out how to work him back. He doesn't have any game reps under him, so they don't really know how to use him right now. But this rotation was pretty thin. It was down to just really 8 guys, and Rybe was just in for 7 minutes. So they really rode Terrace Reed as much as they could, and getting 33 minutes out of Terrace Reed. And he only fouled twice, and he had 2 blocks, and he took 10 shots, 9 free throws, grabbed 8 rebounds. UConn did not do an awesome job on the glass in this game, but I think they got the rebounds that they needed to. So I think that was key. And they were really good pressuring. I think most of AJ's big shots in the second half were really well defended. But can I just say something about AJ?
Yeah.
Like, can this guy take more threes? Like, he's supposed to be like this 3-level, like he's supposed to be like a 3-level scorer. And he's in this NBA pro style offense, and he took 3 threes in this game. Like,
most he's taken this year in a game is 4.
He's taken 10 threes in 4 games. Like, you're supposed to be like the NBA 3-level scorer playing in an NBA offense. Like, stop trying to I don't want to say stop trying to put your head down and drive. That's awesome. I think he's really good when he gets ahead of steam and he can draw a foul. But like, BYU for most of the first half of this game could not hit water falling off a boat. AJ DeBonsta can pick up a ball, go between the legs and create separation for a 3 like maybe no one else in the country. And they just that feels like an easy way to generate a good look. And they just didn't do it. Now, second half, he got to his spots. He was fighting through contact. He was plowing into people. There was that one call, I think it was on Ross, that whoa, how is that not offensive? I thought the refs didn't do a great job with differentiating defensive and offensive fouls. I think there was one offensive foul all game, and there should have been probably a couple more. But I'm all good with not rewarding charges as often as we did a couple of years ago in college basketball. So It's a step in the right direction.
Yeah, I think the fact that he's only taken 10 threes in 4 games is slightly concerning. What I think might be equally concerning is he's only shooting 65% from the line.
What the hell is this?
Granted, 4-game sample size. He's drawing fouls. He shot 23 free throws in 4 games. But is this just a thing? I feel like when I watched AJ, he was a better shooter than this in high school. I don't know what's going on.
I mean, he's 61% from 2.
Yeah.
And a lot of those shots are tough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't want to turn this into an AJ DeBonsta isn't awesome. And I feel like it's become that.
I also don't want to turn this into what is going on with AJ DeBonsta.
I just want to say, I feel like the world kind of lost its mind off of a performance. He was really good in the second half. But that's what we know AJ DeBonsta can do. There are things that he can do that he just hasn't been doing to the level that you would expect him to be doing it. And I think that once we see that version, once we see the fully unleashed version of AJ DeBonsta, BYU can be really, really good once they get Keita back. And if they get Davis back, who knows the deal with that. But man, I really do think BYU is in its fledgling form right now. And you can see it. They're not fully prepared. I don't think the way UConn was. They're not. They weren't into this game the same way. They didn't have an assist until late in the first half, but they still ended up losing by only 2. And I can't ever say that that's going to be a bad thing for this team. This team is going to be one of the best teams in the country. I think this only solidified my thoughts as them being a threat to maybe be a national championship type team down the road. And obviously UConn is in a national championship tier for sure.
Yeah, I don't feel like I have anything else on this. I texted you something last night.
The screenshot.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna go into that yet. I think it's too early for that.
I also think it's wrong. I think in this,
Probably is.
I think in like the first half of this game, it was right. But I think once you get to the end of the game, like it's clear that it's wrong.
It's probably wrong for one, and two, it's a really bad situation if that ends up being the case.
Yes, I think that was a very reactionary message.
Yeah,
we are now talking about a message that nobody knows what it is on the air.
Yeah, if things start turning for BYU, this probably will never be discussed again.
And let me be completely clear. I left this game thinking higher of BYU because, like, I know that wasn't the best they can give.
Yeah, I also just think UConn's really good. Like,
yeah, all right, Auburn, Houston. Jonathan, you watched a lot more of this game.
I watched this from basically end to end.
So you should go.
You know what I think I will? Kingston Flemings did to Auburn what Tahad Pettiford did to Houston last year. Freshman, first game on the national stage, just comes out and lights them up. Looks like the best player on the floor. I thought, like, everything we know about the Houston program was like channeled into like one game here. On the road, basically on the road, right? Well, Auburn crowd. Auburn's playing really hard, really physical. They're honestly like beating you to like getting you after 50-50 balls and getting to rebounds like just as well as Houston is, which not many teams will do that this year. And like it felt like every time that Auburn made a run to like get the lead down to like 3 or 2, Houston would just punch back. And it was a lot of Kingston Flemings, who is freaking awesome. Sharp had his moments. Sanak was really good. And late in the game, Keyshawn Hall goes down with an injury. Didn't look to be like, it looked to be bad originally, but he was walking. So hopefully he's fine. But he goes down. Auburn keeps fighting. Sanak falls out of the game. Tugler falls out of the game. They got to play a lineup of Flemings, Sharp, Uzan, Seiko, Harwell. Offensive possessions are going nowhere. Auburn's got the ball, down 1, chance to win the game. I think Ryan Hammer said it. They had like 2 blocks and 3 deflections in one possession. And Houston hangs on for a 73-72 win. This team's upside is just as good as last year, if not better. And I could make a case for 6 guys on this team to be an NBA player.
Yeah, I just want to say it's the backup big man coming off the bench, transfer from Sam Houston State, that comes up with the big play at the end. And Khalifa Sacco, who I loved at Utah State 2 years ago, by the way. Like, just want to let that be known. Like, I loved him coming off the bench for that team.
I think on the Auburn side of this, first of all, like it's Auburn, like they have athletes. We know this. And I think that's part of the success they had today.
That's what makes Auburn Houston such a compelling matchup each year.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is like 2 very athletic teams that just want to brawl at you. Like if every college basketball team got into like a battle royale fight, and it was until the last team was standing, these 2 teams would be in the top 25 of that, top 15, top 10 for sure.
Yeah.
Now, this would also have to have the largest game map ever, because it would be like 4,500 people in a fight.
How about Auburn going out and replacing Chaney Johnson with just like another Chaney Johnson?
Yeah, I
smash Williams Adams. Like he missed a lot of free throws today, and that's not good, obviously, but there were some super encouraging things, and I thought he flipped momentum in this game a couple times.
Yeah, I think he's a terrific player. Very, very skilled for his size as well. And he's super athletic.
I've grown to like these bigger, stronger wings that just do dirty work down low and have a ton of energy.
Would you even call him a wing?
He's more of a true four, but
honestly, like he can play 5 too.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sebastian Williams Adams is the type of guy that, like, if he were a senior at a mid-major school, he would be like a defensive player of the year 5-man in that league.
I could see a path to him being an NBA player after this year.
Oh, I absolutely can. I said that after the Oklahoma State exhibition. I think I did.
Yeah.
I love his game. Switchable, athletic, guards multiple positions, guards the post, can really pass. He has a 16 assist rate to a 6 turnover rate so far. I think part of that was that he had 5 assists against the Merrimack zone, where they were able to kind of abuse that, and they went off for 95 points, just quick decision making. They got him to different spots, but really impressed overall by Auburn in the way that they kind of battled in this game to come back and kind of make it happen at the end, and then just almost grab the win.
I was kind of waiting to say it, but people will not look back at that Bethune-Cookman game and think about it at all.
No, Auburn's going to be good.
First of all, Bethune-Cookman actually pushed Dayton yesterday. So
decent basketball team, no doubt.
That might be a real team there.
They're probably the best team in the SWAC, them or Southern.
Yeah, and the other thing is you just if you go back and watch that game and look at the shots that Bethune was hitting, you understand why it was close.
Yeah.
But no, man, I probably like this Auburn team a little more now. I wish they had more off the bench, but maybe Magwood develops into something.
I wish Houston had more off the bench.
I think McCarty and Miller will come along.
They better. I think they need to.
At the end of the year last year, they were really only playing 8 guys?
They played 8 in the national championship, yeah.
Cryer, Uzan, Roberts, Sharp, Wilson, Tugler, Arsenault, Francis. Those were their 8.
Yeah, but I think they probably could have used a 9th.
Maybe. Yeah. They also, we don't predict injuries, but Houston does have a history.
That's the other thing. Last year was the only year
Houston has
last 5 that Houston has been healthy going into the tournament.
Houston has a pretty notable recent history of guys getting hurt,
and it's pretty easy to see why when you watch them play.
And it's not. It usually hasn't been an issue, at least for them to be good still, but for them to be as good as we think they can be. Being healthy is everything.
Yeah. I'm interested to see what happens going forward with them. The other thing is Uzan just hasn't been good at all this year.
This was what was going on at the start of last year too.
And I am not concerned whatsoever.
No, I know he's good. I'm not worried.
But Jonathan Kingston Flemings is 5th in Ken Pom Player of the Year.
Yeah, he's
number 2 freshman in the country per Ken Pom Player of the Year. Guess who number 1 is?
Cam Boozer.
Guess who number 2 is?
Darren Peterson.
Kingston Flemings.
Ah.
Guess who number 3 is?
For just freshmen.
Yes.
Is it? It's probably Caleb Wilson.
It's Caleb Wilson, and number 4.
DP? No, he hasn't played.
Nate Amen.
Oh, really?
I got called out on Stats by Will and Jim last week.
For what?
for my Nate Amen takes over the offseason.
Oh, what did they say? I didn't get to listen to it yet.
Will just was like, you hear that? You hear that?
Dude, they should be coming after me. I'm probably lower on him than you are.
I think he was coming after us in general when he said my name.
We'll see.
As Curry Hicks Sages called it, brackets, bubbles, and whatever with Sam Fetterman and that other guy.
Hey, not everyone can be a Sweetie. Sometimes you have to be a Brad.
I can't believe we worked that into a podcast.
I mean, like,
We've
Ament's been good so far, but he was not good in that exhibition against Duke, and I would like to see him play.
I'm still waiting to see it against like a real team, but he's been good.
I think he's going to struggle against teams that are physical, and like he's going to get pushed off drives.
Yeah, like I just don't think he gets to his spots well. Jonathan, go on Alabama Purdue because I did not watch this game.
I didn't either, dude. I was at work.
Oh, okay. So I guess we're just not going to talk about this.
Were you driving home during this?
Yeah.
I don't want to completely ignore it. Like Braden Smith.
I was listening to this game. So.
Braden and TKR were obviously very good.
I was listening to this game and then I watched the highlights. So like I could talk a little.
Yeah, go, and I'll put in my input too.
I think this was a case of Purdue has the two best players on the court. And Alabama is really good, has the home crowd, but Purdue is really experienced. Purdue starts four seniors and a sophomore, and they are all awesome. Braden Smith was the guy in this game. Like he goes out there and he can get you a bucket whenever he wants. At this point, like he's not just a passer. He can go out there and score 25. He can score 30 in a game. He did it last year against Iowa when he had 31, 34 against Toledo last year. This is not the guy that is just a pure passer. If you want to make him a scorer, which Alabama clearly did, he only had 4 assists in this game. If you want to make him a scorer, he can score. Now, he's not like the strongest to finish inside, but he's a sniper, and he can really get to the line. Like we saw that a lot more this year than we did last year. At this point, and 12 free throw attempts in this game. He also out-rebounded Alabama's front court. And Nate Oates went on and said that in the postgame. And I think that's something to keep an eye on here. Like, Alabama got pounded on the glass. Purdue is a team of men on the glass with Clough and Kaufman, Wren, and Jacobson. CJ Cox is even like a tough guy as well. Braden Smith obviously had 7 rebounds, and then I think the other difference maker was Omer Mayer off the bench. Came in 7 points, 17 minutes, 120 offensive rating. Had some really nice plays, but I don't leave this game thinking any less of Alabama. I think this was just 2 of the 10 to 12 best teams in the country playing a really competitive basketball game in a really good environment.
You're probably not winning many games against elite competition with LeBaron Fallon shooting like that.
No.
But and then the rebounding thing is what I wanted to mention too. Like Sherelle has to be better. Bull Bowen has to be better. Like, yeah, like that's honestly, like if those two guys aren't going to rebound, let's give Amari Allen some more run because I know he will.
Yeah, and Noah Williamson was really, really bad.
Yeah, he might just be overmatched at this level.
That's fine, and that's okay. Like
not everyone's a hit.
Not everyone's a hit. The guy was a player of the year type guy in the Patriot League. Still don't think he should have won it. That should have been Matt Rogers. But Noah Williamson was awesome in the Patriot League. That was his level to be awesome, and he could have probably been like a really good A10 player or a really good AAC player. And instead, Alabama paid him a lot of money to be their backup big man, and that's okay. That's okay.
I want to alert you to something that I noticed
a
couple days ago. I'm going to read you some Aiden Holloway stuff from Ken Palm. His freshman year, 50% of the minutes, 20.9% usage rate. 52.4% of the minutes, 20.6 usage rate. Junior year so far, 56.7% of the minutes, 20.8 usage rate.
And the offensive rating, 103, 128, 136.
Now, yes, he has gotten more efficient with more experience and playing in an offense that better fits him. But I think like we've kind of figured out this is who Aiden Holloway is, and that isn't a bad thing at all.
Like, he's a second option. Like, that's what he's supposed to be.
But my concern is he going to get out of control if you play him more than you have been over the last, year and change?
Oh, are you talking about the minutes?
Like, is there a threshold?
The reason why it's 56% of the minutes is because he didn't play in the first game, Jonathan.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, he played 33 and 35.
Yeah, he's fine.
Okay.
Don't worry about that.
That was just the concern. That was just.
I will say though, Phylon now at 30% usage. That is a high usage rate.
I don't think he should be that high.
It shouldn't. I just want to
especially because he's not a great 3-point shooter.
That's going to kind of lead me into like this type of. I don't want to plagiarize the 3-man weave, but like my 3-man thought on this type stuff, where I'm just gonna like go through and like say, hey, here are some of the guys in the high major leagues that are like have the really high usage rates, and I want to hear if you think this is like too high or not. JT Toppin at 34, like that's a crazy usage rate.
It's high, but it's JT Toppin.
Yeah, Terrence Brown at 33.1. It's a little bit higher than I would like. PJ Haggerty at 32.5. It's probably fine. He was 28 last year. Like maybe 30 is good. Michi Johnson 32.4.
That's about what I expect.
Ezra Asar in 47% of the minutes.
That is not what I expect.
He's not playing that many minutes. Nick Boyd is at 32.3. That is really high. Like really high.
Especially
that's not going to stay.
I mean,
there's no chance that stays.
They have Blackwell.
Yeah. McCray at 31.4. I kind of think they need him to be that at Florida State. Marcus Burton at 31. Again, kind of think they need him to be that, and that's even lower than it has been the last 2 years. Phylon at 31. We mentioned Mikal Brown at 30, and like if he's going to keep doing this, just keep giving him the ball.
I am
Ament at 30 again. Like that's probably going to be too high down the stretch, but like if he can handle that going forward, that's really good for Tennessee.
That's a good thing for Tennessee if he's playing well with that.
If he's their best player, that's a good thing for Tennessee.
Yes.
And then Mike Nwoko, 29.6 and 45% of the minutes, and Donald Hand, 29.6.
Hey, he's making the run. He's making the run, Sam.
And also Trey Donaldson, 29.6, and playing pretty well for Miami.
The last thing I have on Bama Purdue, by the way, is I am encouraged that Purdue was 9 of 17 at the rim because we had Alabama rim protection questions coming into the year. And if they are holding a really good Purdue team to 9 of 17 at the rim, positive sign, in my opinion.
All right, the last big game that we got to talk about is Arizona UCLA. Okay, my first thought on this game, there was way too much Bryce James camera time on the bench. Like they cut to him at least like 5 or 6 times.
Yeah.
Was I the only one that saw that?
No, I noticed it too.
And not enough Blake Lidskin camera time.
Blake Lidskin was in the stands, so
still not enough. I would rather see him than Bryce James.
This is
really
Blake
fun. Lidskin may have a father that works in basketball, but he's not with Arizona because of nepotism.
This was really fun. Back and forth, intense rivalry. Crowd was great.
Why can UCLA only get good crowds when they're not playing at Pauley Pavilion?
Yeah, dude, I was wondering the same thing.
Shout out Ben Bolch, the great tweet of UCLA fans have really shown out at the Intuit Dome. Somebody should tell them about this place called Pauley Pavilion. Shout out Anthony DeLorso, though. My God. Huge shots. Huge shots.
UCLA looked from the jump like they were going to control this game. And DeLorso was the one who kind of sparked them and got them back into it.
I'm still not really like there were moments where I was like, okay, maybe the Donovan Dent fit at UCLA is fine. And then I got to watch this game and I'm like, yeah.
I don't think it was a fit thing.
I Like I know we had 11 and 8, but
I think he was in his own head, honestly.
But do you think that has to maybe do with the fit?
With Cronin?
Yeah, like that's a very like Mick Cronin point guard thing to do. Like,
how many possessions? There weren't that many possessions in this game, right?
It was a slow game for sure.
Yeah.
It was 67.
And UCLA is 358th in adjusted tempo right now. So
UCLA played 71, 63, 65, 67.
Pretty on par for them.
Let me check the raw tempo on KenPom.
Okay.
318. So not quite as bad.
Still slow though. Still definitively slow. So
and I think Dent can be okay with that. It's just that like, hey, the paint is going to be a lot more clogged for him.
Here's the other thing.
The guy that played a lot with being able to kind of get downhill, get into the paint, and score. And again, I'm not concerned about Dent. Like I think he's awesome, and I think like he just didn't have a great game. But like that's kind of what the difference was in this game. And I will also say, you're gonna need more from either Jamerson or Jamar Brown. Those are two guys that really came in with like big rebounding numbers. Jamar Brown was like top 5 in his conference in rebounding rate. Jamerson was top 5 in rebounding rate in the WCC. They're going to need to play those guys more because they got big boyed on the glass in this game, 35-28, and they allowed 11 offensive rebounds, and Florida took advantage for second chance points. And I think that with Daly and Bilodeau, that gives you more offense and maybe a little bit more. And obviously Booker does his thing. He had 7 rebounds, which was not bad. But I think Jamerson and Brown are going to have to play a bigger role going forward. And again, you made 9 threes of your 17 attempts. You only attempted 17 threes. Maybe Jamar Brown comes in and changes that. I'm not worried about UCLA. I just think that the best version of UCLA goes a little bit deeper than playing just 6 guys for more than 10 minutes.
I agree. I think to get back on Dent for a second, I think that he was getting to where he wanted to go, but I think once he got there, he was doing too much, if that makes any sense. Like I tweeted this. Did it also feel to you like he was like trying to use like too many gather steps and like the Anthony Edwards like slow steps? Like it felt like just get it up on the rim.
Yeah.
Like, so I think like it's a fixable problem. I think I mentioned that too, but he needs to be better.
Yeah, he needs to be better, but I absolutely have every reason to think that he will be. Also, bad Coapete game.
Yeah, and I think there's 2 things. One,
great for Arizona to win.
It's good that Arizona was able to win a game like this in a semi-hostile environment with both freshmen playing bad. 2, how much can Arizona realistically accomplish if Braden Berries keeps playing like this?
I don't know. I'm definitely like alarm bells on Berries right now.
Yeah, he has not looked good in their big game.
That game, but that's it.
So here's the other thing.
High major games for Berries, 65% of the minutes, 16% usage, 61 offensive rating.
I don't know how many guys in the country right now that I would want on my team in the final 2 minutes of a close game than Jaden Bradley.
Braden Smith.
We can even limit this to just point guards.
Okay, Braden Smith.
Yeah, I can buy that.
Would you take Guzan?
No.
Mikal Brown, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
You got to see it in a close game.
Yeah, I mean, like
I would probably the same thing with Christian Anderson.
Arizona's played 2 nail biters, and Bradley's been awesome down the stretch in both of them.
Yeah, like it's probably just Braden and like Darren Peterson.
Arizona was in this game because of Anthony Delorso. They won it because of Jaden Bradley.
I agree. I'm with you on that 100%.
And it was the same thing against Florida. They were in it because of Coapete. They won it because of Jaden Bradley.
Mm-hmm. All right.
I don't think it's like super common to see guys go from junior year to senior year with this kind of leap, but
I think he was good last year.
He was. He just,
Like, I think he was awesome
opportunity
last
wasn't
year.
there.
It's like they had other guys.
Yeah.
Like he was.
Caleb Love is a better scorer than what Bradley is. But
Yeah, like Caleb Love.
but he's not. But Caleb Love couldn't do
Like,
what Jaden Bradley did for them.
Bradley was. I think he was their best player last year.
Well, they were also asking him to do different things. Like, he was.
I think their two best players last year were Jaden Bradley and Henry Vasar.
I thought Vasar was unbelievable for them, and honestly, the reason that they flipped their season when they did.
And we will mention Vasar a lot on this pod. He has been amazing for North Carolina.
You mentioned the UCLA rotation stuff. Jamerson was terrible.
Yeah, not good. They need to do better.
Booker, surprisingly okay.
Competent.
Had his moments. Need more consistency from him.
That's like my thing. Like I thought Jamerson would kind of be their better five, and I also thought like, hey, Bilodeau and Daly like would be your best look, but they kind of got killed on the glass with those guys. And
Bilodeau had 2 rebounds.
Yeah, and that was my whole
Not
thing.
good.
Like, I love Bilodeau and I love Daly, and I thought coming into the year, hey, you could go 5 out with those 2 guys, and you could blitz with Dent and the speed. But Mick Cronin was never going to do that. And if they're going to try and play this slower style of basketball, and it's not like they've been getting killed on the glass. It was just in this game. If they're going to play that slow style of basketball with Bilodeau at the 4 and Daly at the 3 or whatever it is, you're going to need more minutes from Jamerson as well. You're going to need some stuff there. And I will also say, like, I want to see those smaller lineups come through. I want to see Jamar Brown come in and play the 3 in a smaller lineup next to Sky Clark and Dent, or next to Perry and Dent, or whoever they put next to Dent. I just think that they need more diversification in their lineups with this, and they can't. I just don't think Booker's a 31-minute guy. I can't tell you how badly I want to see them start playing faster with Bilodeau and Daly at the 4 and 5.
Daly's a beast, and
I love Daly.
I was on record last year saying that I thought Daly was better than Bilodeau. They're both great in their own right, but yeah, like I'm a huge Eric Daly fan.
All right, let's move on. Whip around. Just one quick thought about all these games, Jonathan. Ohio State, Notre Dame.
It was just like chaos. Like
I got my thought. Marcus Burton, what are you doing on that last possession?
Yeah,
This is the type of game that Notre Dame misses the tournament because of losing, because they needed the win and they needed a big win, and they had 3 timeouts or however many timeouts, and they just didn't use them. And also I will say, Ryder Frost only playing 2 minutes, not a good sign for Notre Dame. He took 10 all game, 10 threes. If you take 50, you don't ever want to be taking that few threes in college basketball these days. I don't think ever.
Yeah,
and Ryder Frost, one of the best shooters in this class.
Notre Dame was up like double digits in the first half, and then they're up late. And I thought this was going to be, great, good road win for Notre Dame. They go into Players era undefeated, and no, just comes crashing back down.
All right, we've got
Colorado State,
Michigan, TCU. TCU.
We're skipping. Okay. Michigan's got a long way to go offensively, but
yeah,
I stand. But like they have a top 5 defense, and I stand by that.
I think I'm with you. Yaks looked a lot better in this game.
I was talking to Dylan on Friday night, like during this game, Dylan Smith, who did our Michigan preview with me, and he thinks that the offense would benefit from more structure. Like Dusty's a guy
who never been Dusty's thing though.
No, Dusty lets his guys play.
He's a concept guy.
Either there's more structure and they figure it out, or you deal with it until they do figure it out. Nice to see Yaks have a
Colorado State Loyola. I know I kind of wanted to talk about Loyola, but I want to make this one about Colorado State. They are 4-0 against not notable teams. Like Incarnate Word is going to be good in the Southland. Nebraska Omaha made a tournament last year. Returned a bunch of guys. Cal Poly, we know what they are. They're 217.
George.
They're 217 in KenPom right now. I'm in Loyola, 172 in KenPom. So it hasn't been a ridiculously difficult schedule. Like they haven't played a top 100 team yet, but they also haven't played like any nobodies, and they're killing everybody. They're 16th in the country in offense right now. They are hitting a ton of threes. Brandon Rechsteiner has been amazing. Josh Pasquarelli is hitting. Oh my God, he's 47%. Jevin Muniz has been awesome. And I remember my concern with this team was, hey, maybe Rechsteiner is gonna can't really play the point, and they're gonna have to have Muniz as their ball handler. Those guys are 25-17 assist and 30 assist turnover and 30-17 assist turnover. This is a team that's now second in the country in assists per made field goal. I don't think that's a concern. Now, part of this is they're shooting 11% better from three than their opponent, and that's not going to hold long term. But they're also 26 spots up on KenPom from preseason. Jonathan, they're up to 53. Shout out Ali Farouk Manesh, and also shout out Kevin Sweeney because this is basically like his game.
Yeah, they're going to shoot. We know that. The Kerry Booth agenda is so here.
Yeah. Jonathan. Georgetown Clemson.
Was fortunate enough to make some money off of this one.
Man, I'm so in on Georgetown. Like they're 72 in KenPom. They should be like 32.
I don't care if they finish 70th or they finish 30th. Like this does not matter to me. They're good.
This team is going to be a total.
This is a Cooley team.
Like this is what it looks like. They are 347th, Jonathan, in 3-point percentage. They are 347th in 3-point percentage, and they're 4-0 with 2 high major wins. This team is awesome. I think they're so fun. They play with grit. They play with energy. KJ Lewis has been incredible. He's going to be first team All Big East. Malik Mack, fun. So yeah, love Georgetown right now.
Did you know they were at North Carolina?
When?
December 7th.
I did. Maryland Marquette.
Whoa.
I think this is let me
there's a bigger storyline than what actually happened.
Hold on. Let me figure out how to pronounce this. It's a Pyrrhic victory for Maryland.
Explain that to me and the audience who does not use John Fenler words.
A Pyrrhic victory is a win achieved at such a great cost to the victor that it is considered a loss. A Pyrrhic victory. I first came across this term. Nickel Umcall posted about it when Syracuse beat Clemson and Angeli got hurt. So that was the first time I'd ever heard this phrase. And I'm like, wow, this is a good phrase. I'm going to use it. So I'm using it on the pod. Maryland, Pyrrhic victory with Pharrell Payne going down.
Yeah.
Now, they were able to pull out the win without him, and it's different from the Syracuse win because Syracuse was up by a lot. But, man, are you going to have to rely on Colin Metcalf as your starting center right now? Colin Metcalf was like a 50% of the minutes guy in the CAA. Now, Darius Adams, awesome. Andre Mills, not a guy I was thinking about at all preseason, has been awesome. And Isaiah Watts, man, that guy can play. Maryland winning this game without Miles Rice and Solomon Washington, I thought was impressive. Mm-hmm. But I don't see Maryland without Pharrell Payne being a threat in the Big Ten.
Yeah, agreed.
All right, Jonathan. It's time for buy or sell.
Oh, let me pull up my teams here. Have it in my notes app.
Jonathan, would you like to explain what we're doing here?
Yeah, so we're going to do this every couple weeks now. We got, it's going to be buy or sell. Sometimes it's going to be, hey, I'm going to throw narratives at Sam. we'll buy them or sell them.
By the way, Long Beach State 77, Illinois State 79, 9.7 seconds left.
Jeez. So yeah, I'm gonna throw some narratives at Sam. We'll discuss them today. We're gonna go over a bunch of high major teams that we have not discussed, or at least not discussed at length. I have 10 teams here, Sam, and you are welcome to add any at the end that I have either forgotten or chose not to write down in sake of time.
All right, let's go.
Number 1, why don't we start with them? Thoughts? Let's see how I phrase this. Do you buy Syracuse as like a tournament level bubble team?
Yes. Like the way that
was a cautious yes.
Like it's a like they haven't played anybody. They played nobody. And the 3-point disparity is crazy. The variance has swung
16% from 3.
The variance has swung really positively in Syracuse's direction. But I think that's all like you're up 20 spots in KenPom from preseason, and I think it's rewarding good process. Like good process has been rewarded the way Syracuse is playing. William Kyle has been awesome, protecting the rim. Donnie Freeman has looked a lot better defensively, and I think that was a huge thing that I was talking about all offseason. Nate George isn't turning it over. I'm a little concerned about Nate George. I don't think he's been like as good as the numbers suggest. Mm-hmm. In 3 games, but he's been good enough. Like that's kind of the thing about Nate George. Like, hey, you look up and he's got 11 and 6, and it doesn't feel like he's done much. And obviously with Starling hurt, I kind of think Starling's a losing player, and like losing him, like maybe he's a lot better defensively this year too. I mean, Freeman got a lot better defensively, so that's a big thing. But like, Syracuse's weakness right now is like, the outside shooting and like just the half court offense. JJ Starling isn't coming in and fixing that by like going nuclear from 3. Syracuse is getting out in transition. They are playing with energy. They're playing with pace. I think that maybe there's a little bit too much overcorrection in terms of like the shot variance right now. But I think it's good to see Syracuse playing with effort for 40 minutes, with energy for 40 minutes, and defensively sound for 40 minutes. This team has not had fundamental mistakes.
Could be better for them in the long run if Kai Anthony is playing a lot.
Oh, absolutely. And he is playing a lot because Starling's hurt. Like if Starling misses players era and Syracuse goes 1-2 or 0-3, you get Cayenne exposed to those environments, and then Starling comes back for Tennessee and then for ACC play. That I think that could still be a good thing because the ACC will have enough opportunities for them to win big games this year. So I do think that, and Cayenne's looked awesome. So I'm definitely buying Syracuse as a potential tournament team right now. I wouldn't put them in a tournament. That's very, very clear. Like not all the way there yet. I need to see them do it against somebody good. But a good start. Really good start.
Number 2.
Hold on. Are you buying or are you selling?
Selling. I'd hold. Can I hold? Can I do that?
No.
Okay, then I'm selling. I'll believe it when I see it with them.
I think that's fair. I just think I've been seeing it. Like I've been seeing good process. Like that's kind of what I've been waiting for the last 3 years. Like I'm not seeing like I'm not there to tournament team yet, but I'm seeing good process, and that's really something I haven't seen for the first time in a couple of years.
Number 2, Virginia. Haven't played a high major team yet. They will this week. I believe they play Northwestern this week. And then Butler. However, big wins over Rider, NC Central, they beat by 19. Hampton, they blew out. Marshall, they blew out.
I've been buying Virginia stock for so long, Jonathan, that I don't think...
No reason to stop now.
Like, I don't think
By the way,
there's
did they really start the year at like 59th in KenPom?
Yeah, and they're up to 38.
Yeah.
Where is Virginia in Torvik without preseason priors? It's we're barely past Veterans Day, and I'm sorting data, Jonathan.
What a great episode that was on Friday.
Virginia's 9th in Torvik without preseason priors. Syracuse is 13th.
The teams
If
ahead
I'm
of
buying
Virginia.
Syracuse, I have to buy Virginia.
Yeah, I think that's fair. That's very fair.
I love Testa Ritter.
Is that how you pronounce it? Tess?
I think.
Okay, we've been calling him like Testa Ritter, right? All off season.
We've been calling like half of college basketball by the wrong pronunciation all offseason, Jonathan. There's no problem with getting one wrong.
I don't know when this like stops, but like there's some point in the year where I watch college basketball games and I don't hear announcers pronounce a guy's name differently than I've been pronouncing it. And I don't know when that is, but I'm assuming it's sometime around New Year's.
All right.
So, yeah, I'm buying. Like, there's no reason for me to sell.
DeRitter so far this year, by the way. DeRitter, 23-10. Sorry, 21-10, 20-5, 5-3, 23-6. 139 offensive rating, 25% usage. He's old. He's experienced. He can shoot. He can pass. He can dribble. So good. And Grunlow's block rate is 3rd in the country. Yeah, and they also bring Ugana Onyenso off the bench.
He's a real player.
This team is going to have like some of the best rim protection in the country because of Grunlow and Onyenso. And then they are unreal on the offensive glass right now, and they can shoot. They want to play fast offensively too, but they grind you down defensively. I think they're a really good two-way team.
If you can shoot like they do and you can protect the rim like they do, odds are you're going to be a pretty successful team.
All right, Jonathan.
Number 3, Kansas State. They do have a high major win over Cal, 99-96 at home.
And they were up by so much in this game, and then they blew it.
Yeah. Cal got back into this game.
I'm selling.
Another one that I'll believe it when I see it.
I'm selling on
Castillo has looked better this year, I will say.
They're turning it over a ton, and they're shooting 54% from 3. Like this offense isn't going to hold scoring 98 points a game when they're not making this many threes. Cool. Abdi Bashir's 11 for 21 right now, and he played well against Cal, and he only took 4 shots against Cal, and like a lot of the shots against Bellarmine and UNC Greensboro. Cool. All right. What about when he's getting bumped off his spot consistently in the SEC and in the Big 12 schedule? Nate Johnson is 9 for 13. David Castillo is 10 for 13. Like, you think that's going to hold? Okay, fine. Buy Kansas State. Maybe it's a little glasses. Maybe it's a little orange tinted glasses of me to buy Syracuse and sell Kansas State on the 3-point variance side. But I think Syracuse has been rewarded for better process.
Syracuse athletes are better than K-State's are.
Yeah, and Syracuse athletes are better than K-State's shooters are, I think. Like, Nate Johnson is not a 69. He shot 29% from 3 last year. David Castillo shot 25%.
Yeah, real bold of you to say that Nate Johnson's not going to shoot 69% from 3 on the year.
Oh, shut up, Lidskin.
No, but like in all seriousness, if Kansas State's going to shoot 54% from 3 as a team, they'll probably be pretty good.
They'll be a national championship contender.
Not with that defense, they won't.
No, I think if you shoot 54%.
Oh, dude, I have been told that you have to be inside the top 25 in both offensive and defensive efficiency to win national title. Otherwise, they will not hand you the trophy. They won't do it.
They will step aside and they will hand the trophy to their
They will give the trophy to the last team in that is within the metrics. They refuse to hand a national championship.
You have to be in the trapezoid of excellence, Jonathan.
They only hand the national championship trophy to teams inside the top 25 in both offensive and defensive efficiency. And that is true, except for the times they didn't do that. All right, number 4, West Virginia. I know what your answer is going to be.
You know what my answer is going to be.
Yeah.
So I want to hear your answer.
I'm buying. This is Big 12 Georgetown.
I'm with you on that 100%.
they're gonna win games ugly. They're gonna play really slow, but like I don't know. They have guys that shoot. They have playmakers. OBO has a beast.
You know who I thought has been
They're going to injure like 15 players.
Brennan Lorient. I watched Brennan Lorient dominate.
Yeah, he's looked good
athletically in a bunch of these games.
Yeah, he's looked good.
Next,
they're not deep, but like I buy it.
They're old. They're super old.
Okay, this one I think you guys are going to have the same answer on. Cincinnati.
Oh God, man! I watched them struggle.
This is like the opposite. Like really like ugly team that like I don't think will be like the benefactor of variance. Because they don't win, like because they don't beat you offensively like within the margins.
Yeah.
Like
I saw Mustafa Sham today attempt 3 threes against the Mount. That's all I need to see for me to be out on this team.
Him and Baba are 2 of 13 from 3 on the year combined.
Abeb is 4 of 20, and like I don't think these guys are great shooters. Like Kreese is better than 7 of 27. Yeah,
but he's also taken 27 threes in 4 games, which is a concern in itself.
Yeah, I like he shouldn't have the ball enough to do that.
I like that Sean's usage rate is high, but like. You know, we said it. He's going to have some nights where he scores 40.
But the fact of the matter is, your best player is maybe the 25th best freshman in the country. Your best,
and I was really
your best overall player is Sham. Like, is that a good thing?
Like, I was high on him, but we both said it. Like, he's going to have some nights where he scores 30 and wins you a game, but he's also going to have some nights where he scores 5 and misses 17 shots.
You had a cool dunk tonight, so there's that.
He's athletic. No, athletic, and he can get his own shot.
And also, like, Wes Miller doesn't get the benefit of the doubt that Ross Hodge does from me. I'm sorry. Maybe they should have kept CJ Anthony.
Yeah, how about that? All right, 6. Let's move on to Michael DeRosa's Butler Bulldogs.
What's the line here?
What do you mean? What's the line?
Like, what's the buyer? What am I buying?
I don't know. I was gonna say that I was like, I'll buy a little bit.
Like, this is not a tournament team by any stretch.
I'm not, running to the table.
Like, this is not a tournament team by any stretch of the imagination. So if it's that, I'm selling. But like, competitive Big East team.
Yeah. How much is it worth to say that they might be a top 5 team in the Big East?
Like, are they better than Providence? Maybe.
Okay, here's something for you. UConn, St. John's, Georgetown. Best 3 teams in the Big East, yes or no?
Yes, I agree.
DePaul, Xavier, Seton Hall, worst 3 teams in the Big East, yes or no?
I'm not fully convinced that Seton Hall is in that tier, but I would have them as the 3rd worst team probably.
I know they lost to Buffalo, but I'm not totally sold that DePaul's in that tier either.
No, Xavier's like
Xavier
could be a tier below everyone. Xavier could go could go over. Okay, they won't. Xavier's not going over. Xavier will win. Xavier will go over against every team that's not DePaul and Seton Hall.
Xavier will win multiple Big East games.
They will go 2-18.
It is truly like hard to go winless in conference play.
Yeah, I think I'm just talking from
even as a bad team in the Big East.
Okay, yeah. Let me amend. Xavier will not win more than 4 Big East games.
Yeah. DePaul 2 years ago finished 304th in KenPom, went 0-20 in conference play, and had Villanova on the ropes in the first round of the Big East.
They had Georgetown on the ropes twice, remember?
Yeah, weren't we all like celebrating that like Ewing won a game? Or was that no, that was Cooley's first year.
Yeah, that was Cooley's first year. And it was like you're getting made $6 million per conference win.
Yeah. Yeah.
Didn't they win at the buzzer?
Small, yeah, I think so. Small buy of Butler for me.
All right, go.
7, Nebraska.
Is it
I'll
possible
say
to
that
buy
last.
them on,
I'll say
is
that
it
last night.
possible to buy them on only one side of the ball?
I'll say that last night.
Because I'm buying this offense. This is a top 25 offense in college basketball. This team has no defense. They
Rink's
play
good.
zero
Price is
defense.
good. Rink's good. Price is good. Lawrence is good.
This team plays zero defense. They have
CJ
no
and
problem letting you get to the basket. And they're
Did you know that Nebraska currently holds the nation's longest active win streak?
You know who holds the nation's second longest active winning streak, Jonathan?
Who?
Penn State.
Oh, nice. Good for them.
Tied with Loyola Marymount and South Alabama. Both of those teams are 5-0. Now, the longest losing streak in the country just got extended to 19. Long Beach State.
Yeah. Okay, back to Nebraska. Yeah, they won't defend anyone, but will their physicality hold up over a 20-game Big Ten schedule?
No, it won't.
I don't think it will either.
I love this offense, though.
Yeah, they can shoot, they can score, no doubt. But yeah, they don't guard anyone. Oh, Oklahoma is like really bad. That's not a good basketball team.
Oklahoma's bad. I'm selling all my Oklahoma stock. Not that I had any. Is
Number
Oklahoma State next on here?
Huh?
Is Oklahoma State next?
No. They're not next. Saving them for the end.
Okay.
Northwestern.
Ooh, that's a really good one.
I don't know how much I could buy. I already had a bunch of stock in them to begin with.
I like Northwestern. I don't know how much I can buy them as to be like more than what they are right now, which is like a bubble team.
Yeah, I'm not backing down from this. I said it all offseason. NCAA tournament team.
I want to see them give Virginia a fight on Friday. Where is that game?
Their front court's really good.
Oh, that's Greenbrier.
Yeah, it's played in a hotel.
Yeah. All right.
Or
Oklahoma State?
No, we got two more.
We do?
And then we have Oklahoma State. Wisconsin.
What are we buying or selling them as?
I don't know. You told me, like, let's talk about high major teams that we haven't talked about yet. BYU plays them next week.
That's
Friday.
Delta Center. Yeah. That's an exciting one.
Mm-hmm.
Have not watched a minute of Wisconsin ball this year, so I can't really talk about that.
Offense is good.
Yeah.
Offense is good.
Nolan Winter.
Still buying. All right, USC.
Nolan Winter. It might be too late for me to buy a stock.
Yeah, you jumped on too late, unfortunately.
Good player.
USC.
Buying.
I'm really buying, man.
I'm super in.
Good.
This team is a classic Musselman team with physicality and aggression and all that. And Jacob Kofi has been everything I said he would be.
Kofi, awesome. Baker Mazzara, still awesome. Rice.
Yeah, I think like people forgot like Chad Baker Mazzara rocks.
Yeah, they're deep. We knew that. Could do with, without Ezra Asar running the offense when he's on the floor. But, I think that, I think this team's going to win a lot of games.
All right, Jonathan. Oklahoma State.
I understand why they were the ones that scheduled Illinois State, because they're just a total mismatch for any mid-major.
Oklahoma State?
Yeah. You start.
I'm going to say no to this team being like a good Big 12 team.
I think I'm with you.
They're talented. Victorious Miller has been awesome. But Texas A&M might just be bad.
They might be horrendous.
Texas A&M might be really bad. Like they got like completely punked in the last 10 minutes at home against UCF. And we don't think UCF is very good.
If I gave you 12-1 that A&M finishes last in the SEC, would you take it?
Ooh, 12-1.
And this is conference record, not the Ken Palm rank.
Why not?
I'm not giving you it.
Okay.
It was a hypothetical.
So what are you giving me? 8-1?
No, I'm not giving you anything.
So you think they're gonna finish last?
No, I don't. I'm just asking.
So would you give me 1-1?
I'm just asking you if someone came up to you on the street and said, "Hey, I'll give you."
So would you give me 1-1 on this?
You want to take 1-1?
No, of course I don't. I'm just saying, what would there's a line that you would take. Would you take 3-1? Would you take 5-1?
Yeah, I'd probably give you 5-1.
I don't think I would do that. I think I would need 8.
Yeah, I'm just saying I think that there's a chance.
I might need 10-1 to do it, but I would definitely take 12.
This might not work. Right now, it's not working.
Bucky's a good coach. Like I think he would figure it out eventually. Like that eventually might not come this year.
There also might be a component to it of, hey, he got the job late because Buzz left after the whole Maryland debacle, and he might not have the players he wants this year because they might not have been available.
I agree. All right, Jonathan.
Also, it may have been a little telling when they took Ali Deba in July. Not that Ali Deba is a bad player. He certainly hasn't played well, but yeah.
All right, Jonathan, time for
You want to talk about selling. What are we doing?
Helmet sticker time.
Helmet stickers? Okay, you want to go first?
Yeah, I'm going to go first, and I'm going to go second.
Okay.
No,
you do have 5. I have 4. Sorry.
No, I'm going to go first, and I'm going to go last, actually. All right. My first helmet sticker goes to a freshman who has been one of the most underrated players in the country so far this year, one of the best freshmen in the sport. He's averaging 17.3 points and 5.8 assists in his first 4 games. He led his team to a come-from-behind victory at Bucknell, scoring 23 points, most of them coming in the second half. He had 5 assists in 37 minutes. He is the best player right now on this team. And it is a team that had a preseason he is one of the best players on this team. Him and a preseason first-teamer in the league. And that is Preston Edmead at Hofstra. This is a 6'1" freshman from Deer Park, a Long Island kid who is just absolutely hooping.
Okay. Helmet sticker number 1.
Jonathan.
Give me a combo one. Tad Boyle and Barrington Hargress.
Okay, I like it.
I am going to say pretty confidently that I'm higher than just about everyone on Colorado. Didn't look, first couple games weren't smooth by any means. But they go out on Friday. They get a big home win against Providence. Barrington goes for 15, 11 assists. Efficient. I like Tad Boyle has nothing to work with in terms of resources. Colorado's not a basketball state. They don't produce great basketball talent in the Denver area. They don't have a lot of money to spend on players in the portal. They go out and they get the guys they can. And, I'm going to guess Barrington's getting paid more than anyone on that team. He's a good player. And then they start junior, sophomore, senior, sophomore, junior. Their bench, freshman, 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 freshman. Elon McKelly, I think or Michael Lee. I don't know how exactly you pronounce it. We'll figure that out. He had 20 in this game. Isaiah Johnson 15. Tad's a good scouter. And I don't think he gets the credit he deserves for that.
Yeah.
It's really hard to win that.
Even the one senior that they have in that starting lineup is a guy that came from NAIA 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
All right. My second helmet sticker goes to a player that was playing at Division II last year, and he's now playing for a program that has had a lot of success with Division II players. He led his team with 22 points in a road win against a Mountain West school, Fresno State, then came back out and led his team to another win against a good Idaho team with 15 points as a starting wing for UC San Diego. He's averaging 17 points and 5.5 rebounds through 4 games. That is Leo Beath, 6'8" junior from Malibu, California. Started his career at FAU. He has been awesome for the Tritons, who are 4-0 in year 1 under Clint Allard, who is the successor to Eric Olin, who was the coach there for a long time. UC San Diego is a threat in the Big West, Jonathan, with Beath leading the way. Don't forget about Bull Dengit, Tom Beatty, Emmanuel Prospere. This overall as a team has been really fun. Alex Chaikin hasn't really gotten going yet, but he is a tremendous outside shooter. 4-0. They play this week in ESPN events. That the 18 bracket, I think. Let me find the bracket that they're in. Yeah, they're in the 18 bracket. I gotta give you their matchups. Their first matchup is against Temple. Then they will play Princeton or Bradley. And on the other side of the bracket, it's Rhode Island, Towson, Liberty, and Vermont. Tell me why UC San Diego can't go and win that, Jonathan.
Because you said Liberty's in it.
No, I think Liberty will win it. But tell me why.
No, they can.
There is an argument. There is an argument to be made that UC San Diego is the second best team in that 8. And I think we mentioned this earlier.
Yeah. Agreed.
All right, your turn.
Number 2, quick one. Belmont. Belmont is an offensive slanted program. They are an offensive slanted team. They brought back Lundblade, Orm, Rogers, all like offensive guys, whether that's, offensive rebounding or in Lundblade's case being one of the best shooters in the country. So far, 3 games, Air Force, Tennessee State, Oral Roberts. Not, super great opponents, but all 3 Division I opponents, and nobody has cracked 1 point per possession on the Bruins yet. So looks like that defense could actually be a really solid unit for them this year.
All right, Jonathan, my third helmet sticker goes to a guy who a lot of people were hyping up as a breakout candidate. And boy, does it look like he is breaking out. That is a player that averaged 21.5 points this week for his team. 21.5 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists per game in the 2 games they played this week. On Saturday against Grand Canyon, he had 20 points to lead his team to a 78-64 victory. He led his team in scoring. That is, of course, St. Louis sophomore Amari McCautry, who had a really solid freshman year last year. Really solid production coming off the bench in just 14 and a half minutes. He is now playing more. He is now a starter for this team, and he is now a stud. He is averaging 17 and a half points per game. He is leading St. Louis in scoring. This is a team with 6 players averaging double digits. The Billikens are legit. They go to Acrisure Arena in Palm Springs next week. They're 4-0. They're 59th in KenPom. They're up 6 spots from preseason, and they're up 9 spots from yesterday's pregame. And they, after killing Grand Canyon, who has struggled with 2 losses early to start the season, the Lopes are now 2-2 and down to 99th in KenPom, Jonathan. But shout out to Amari McCautry of St. Louis with his 122 offensive rating.
Yeah, St. Louis is an electric team. Defense is going to be better than it probably was getting credit for in the preseason. Offense, we know all about it. Coach, we know all about it. They got some big ones coming up with teams with more athletes than maybe a Grand Canyon has. I'm talking Santa Clara, San Francisco, established WCC teams that they go against Gonzaga and St. Mary's every year, so they've scaled up before. I think those 2 games should tell us a lot about St. Louis and the type of season that they could have, because it's the A10. Crazy stuff happens, but like this could be the best team in the A10 by, a couple feet. What?
Let's go.
Okay.
You're up.
Masamba Diop.
Okay.
Arizona State.
I thought this is interesting. I wouldn't have given it to him this week.
Well, I would have given it to him last week if I had known who he was. This is an NBA player.
No doubt. I don't know when. I don't know when.
I don't know if it's this year, but eventually it is. Arizona State found one. He's going to be their best player. Better than Mo Odom. If you watch the way he moves at 7'1" and the fact that he handles the ball like he does, it's pretty clear he has the skill set that like an NBA team will take a chance on. He's also an elite rim protector. I think Arizona State's pretty clearly better than anyone else.
Yeah, because they found a 7'1" Senegalese specimen.
Dude, where did this kid come from?
No idea. Had never heard of this guy.
Did he? I don't even know if he went to like high school in the United States or not. Let me see. No, Gran Canaria. That's not in the United States. He's
Spain.
Yeah, he's from Senegal. So.
All right, Jonathan. 2 more for me.
Yep.
It's time to talk. It's time to take a ride on the Gus bus, Jonathan. I was at this game at Matthews Arena yesterday, and making his Vermont debut was a transfer from Seton Hall and Wisconsin, who always brought energy but never really brought any sort of production to those places. And yesterday, he came up huge. Checked in the first half, went to work in the post. Second half, drained a 3, took over the game, made some nice passes. That would be Vermont big man Gus Yalden. And this was the first time that I saw Vermont look like Vermont in the second half of this game. He played 23 minutes, scored 18 points, had 5 assists, 5 rebounds, no turnovers, was 8 of 12 from the field. They flipped the game. They were down 47-39 in Northeastern, who was playing without L.A. Pratt, who's going to miss the rest of the season. Really tough, by the way, loss for Northeastern. They are going to be struggling without him.
Mm-hmm.
But Yalden was awesome. They went on a huge run, kill shot, to completely flip this game. A 21-3 run. They were down by 8. They went up by 10. They won by 11 at Matthews, and there's now no more basketball to be played at Matthews Arena. To go out there and to hit 13 threes as a team, with TJ Long only hitting 2 of them, that's big. Yalden off the bench. This was a huge, huge bench game for Vermont. And Jonathan, your last helmet sticker.
Start the Mikey Lewis All-American campaign right now.
Okay. That's a take.
Listen, Randy Bennett has run quite the program in Moraga and has had great players. Matthew Dellavedova comes to mind. They had the great team with Jordan Ford in 2020. The tournament got canceled. Listen, I wasn't watching college basketball in the early 2000s when Randy Bennett was coaching at St. Mary's, but from the time I've started watching college basketball, Mikey Lewis is the most talented player that Randy Bennett's had. He's absurd. Like a complete offensive player, can play multiple positions, and with the number, I know this is the level of competition they're going to see. They've played 4 good mid-major teams and have destroyed all of them. None of them have been close. And he's been pretty much, fantastic in all 4 of those games.
My last helmet sticker goes to another player that played in Boston yesterday. This is a player who has been tremendous all year. He transferred in from Division II Gannon, where he was one of the better players in his conference last year. But so far this year, he is averaging 23 points per game, 3.5 rebounds. He's attempting, Jonathan, 9.3 3-pointers per game for a team that plays one of the slowest paces in the country typically. This year, they are playing a little bit faster than they have in the past because they don't have a point guard that's going to take the air out of the basketball. the same way. And I think this guy is a big reason why they're playing a lot faster. It's Ernest Shelton at Merrimack. On Saturday, Jonathan, in 36 minutes, he scored 33 points on 9 of 12 from 3. Ernest Shelton has made 19 threes to start the season. I don't know, that might be the most in the country. Let me figure
You
out.
want to stall for a sec? I can tell you that.
What?
If you want to stall for a sec, I can tell you.
I am figuring that out right now.
Okay.
It's not. It is not.
Who is leading? Is this a trivia time?
It is.
Who has made the most threes in the country so far?
I'll tell you.
I'm going to say is it Ryan Conwell?
It's Bryson Blaine at Charleston Southern.
Oh.
He has made 24, but he's also played one more game than Ernest Shelton.
How many has Conwell hit?
Like 15 probably. $14.
14, yeah, okay.
All right, my helmet stickers. Preston Ed Mead, Leo Beath, Amari McCautry, Gus Yalden, Ernest Shelton. Jonathan's helmet stickers.
Tad Boyle / Barrington Hargris, Belmont, Masamba Diop, Mikey Lewis.
Do we have time for previews?
Yeah, I think we can hit the Champions Classic quick.
I think we've gotten to the point with now these 4 teams that we can actually preview the game.
Okay, hold on. First one of the year. Is Darren Peterson on the LJ Cryer timeline?
Is JJ Starling on the LJ Cryer timeline?
The thing is, I feel like you don't know that a player is on the LJ Cryer timeline until they've been injured for a couple weeks. It's like, oh, we thought this was going to be like a 1 game at most injury, and now he's been out of the lineup for multiple weeks. And we have no idea when he's coming back.
Darren Peterson, they've never given a concrete timeline on this. Said it might be out a while. A while could mean 3 days.
Kansas is paving the path for him to be on the LJ Cryer timeline.
They are also paving the path to set a narrative that he's playing hurt when he drops 33 on Duke on Tuesday.
I wouldn't put it past Self to play mind games like that.
Especially coming up against the biggest game of his season so far. I think that's something that he's going to be doing.
You think Duke's a bigger game than Carolina?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just messing with you.
Definitely a bigger game than Carolina.
Yeah, this is the nightcap.
Considering it's not an away game. That's an away game. You don't go into that thing same as a neutral site game.
This is nightcap at MSG on Tuesday. One thing One thing I'm looking for: can Cam Boozer get Flory in foul trouble? Because I think if that happens, that opens up a whole lot of things for Duke.
I agree, because Duke is a team that I think Cam Boozer is going to get everyone in foul trouble this year. I think that's going to be his thing. He's just playing too strong, too tough for all that stuff. My thing for this game is if Darren Peterson does play, who will Duke have on him? If he doesn't,
Caleb Foster.
Yeah, I know. And how was he going to do? And if he doesn't, how is Kansas going to generate any sort of offense whatsoever?
Yeah, they looked pretty miserable without him on Saturday against Princeton.
Yeah, they scored 76, but that was on 71 possessions. If I can Hoop Explorer this and find the on-off offense splits for Kansas with and without Darren Peterson, they're probably not great.
Yeah, I think Kansas's defense should still be okay if he doesn't play.
I mean, I don't think he's an excellent defender. He's just a solid defender.
Peterson?
Yeah.
No, I think he's a good defender. I
said that. I think he's solid.
Yeah, I just don't think he.
Yeah, dude, Kansas 25.2 points per 100 possessions better. Now, this is unbelievably small sample size. Do not ever read into 87 possession on-off sample. Never do it. This is faux pas. I shouldn't even be doing this on the podcast level bad. But Kansas has been bad when Darren Peterson hasn't been on the floor offensively. They have been good offensively when he has been on the floor. I think that's a trend that we can expect to continue throughout the season.
Any Michigan State, Kentucky thoughts before we get out of here?
I mean, I think we've already seen both of these teams play like interesting games. Well, we got to make a pick. We got to make picks for these games, Jonathan.
Oh, I'll pick Duke.
I'm picking Duke too. And then Kentucky -6.
I'll probably bet Michigan State.
I feel like Michigan State never gets
they don't show up to the Champions Classic.
What
Except in the games John Calipari coached.
Yeah, that's the thing. They would always show up against Kentucky.
So I was there.
But I don't think this is a coaching mismatch. I think Pope's a better coach than Izzo right now.
Are you worried about Kentucky taking care of the ball without Lowe?
I don't think Michigan State is this super first forced turnovers team. I think Michigan State's going to be really good when they do force turnovers, with Ward and Carr and Fears getting out in transition. But I don't think they force a ton.
If Michigan State
forces 13 or more turnovers, I think they win.
If Kentucky wins and offense looks good relative to Michigan State's defense in this, and there's not a notable takeaway from Duke, Kansas, we are opening the Tuesday night show, assuming we do one, with Jalen Lowe Ewing theory.
Okay. By the way, we'll definitely do a show Tuesday night. It'll just be at
we always do one after the Champions Classic.
It'll just be at midnight because I have Syracuse Monmouth at 9:00.
9?
9.
That's a men's game, right?
It is.
Okay.
I would not. With all due respect to women's basketball, I love watching women's college basketball at Syracuse. I think women's college basketball is an awesome sport. I'm not going to the Dome at 9:00 for the Syracuse women. Just not happening.
Well, what would this pod be without thoughts on Syracuse?
Yeah. And the Syracuse men, I kind of want to watch them right now.
They're watchable. That's the best thing.
I've only been to one of their games so far. So
that's the best thing I could have said.
I'm only getting 2 more of their games in person. So
that best thing that we could have said about Syracuse in years. They are watchable.
All right, Jonathan. You know what time it is. Take us home.
If you came to hear about Tyler Self and where he's working, you came to the right place. If you came to hear about Jeremy Shulman losing secret scrimmages to his uncle, you came to the right place. And if you came,
I forgot that was even on this show.
And if you came to hear about the latest happenings with Caleb Grill, you came to the right place. This has been season 6, episode 52 of Brackets, Bubbles, and Mid Steelers, and we'll see you next time.